Good morning, watch nerds. Well, I've reviewed my Rolex, my Tudor, endless amounts of Christopher Ward watches, a squillion micro brands, but today I'm showing you something on the budget end. But please don't think because it's cheap it's rubbish, because it certainly isn't. That said, at the prices these are being sold for, they're not perfect, but what watch is? At this point I should mention this watch has been reviewed to bits, and that's partly why I felt I had to get hold of one and review it myself. And welcome to my unpaid and unsponsored review of the Addiesdive AD2030. The only other Addiesdive watch I can remember reviewing was the AD2059, and that's got the NH35 automatic movement in it and it's 39mm, so a bit bigger than this one. I sung its praises, but it shares one of the same niggles as this, and I'll get to that later. Well, this is the packaging, and most of us have seen it a million times. It's a hard plastic foam lined box that protects the watch and it does the job. Enough said about that. And this is my watch of the day. It's the amazing San Martin SN0144. As usual, let's kick off with the dimensions. Well, the case is 36.5mm. The lug width is 19mm, which will upset anybody wanting to put this on a strap because your choices are going to be a little bit restricted. However, 19mm does suit the proportions of this watch perfectly. Now the depth is 11mm, which includes a slightly raised mineral crystal. Yes, mineral crystal, but I think that's fine for a watch at this price, and we'll get to that soon. The lug to lug is 45.5mm, and on this bracelet it weighs 111 grams with all the links fitted. In my opinion, the watch wears to size, and it would be okay for wrists around about 6 inches right through to 7.5. So before I go any further, perhaps it is time to discuss money. Believe it or not, you're unlikely to have to pay more than $60 or £48 for one of these little beauties, and possibly less if there's an AliExpress sale on. Considering the spec, and I'm getting to that, this represents incredible value. In fact, for anybody considering going into this crazy hobby, this watch may be a good place to start. Inside is the Seiko VH31 quartz movement. This movement beats away at 4 ticks per second, giving the impression it's sweeping and alleviating the anxiety of the second hand not hitting the markers. That said, few things give me more pleasure than watching a second hand hit every index. And that just goes to show how bloody sad I am. Expect to change the battery, well, every couple of years, and expect it to be accurate within 15 seconds a month. The crown is signed, screws down to aid its claimed 100 metres of water resistance, and operates the movement perfectly. What is amazing, and I mean it is amazing, the crown engagement is buttery smooth. If you closed your eyes you could actually be screwing in the crown of a Rolex, honestly. So enough said about the crown. The case and its finishing is quite amazing for a watch that costs as little as this. The fixed bezel is polished and it leads down to some well executed fine brushing. The cushion type sides are nicely polished, which suits a dress watch perfectly, albeit I actually class this as a dressy sports watch. The case back screws down and it's got the Addiesdive logo embossed on the back, along with some basic information. The star of the party is this lovely white silver waved pattern dial, although the watch also comes in sand and a baby blue. Under the 12 o'clock is the Addiesdive logo with Addiesdive printed below that. Above the 6 o'clock it reads Deep Sea Hunter with the aforementioned claim water resistance. The polished and raised baton indices look fantastic, as do the Dauphin hands. Of course, this type of watch rarely has a loom, and this one's no different. The bracelet may not be anything to write home about, but it's comfortable, it's adequate, and it suits the watch. It's a brush sweet link oyster style, and it's got polished sides. It's got female solid end links, but no quick release spring bars. Adjustment is made by removing push pins, which is the least expensive way of doing things, but what do you expect? After all, you can spend 15 times what I paid for this on a Seiko, and still get push pins. The clasp is milled, it's got 5 micro adjustments, a flip lock, and it's signed. All in all, I believe like the rest of the watch, the clasp and the bracelet, well, they certainly exceed expectations. To be honest, up until now everything's been really good, and far better than what you expect when you're spending this sort of money. But here's the elephant in the room, albeit this won't bother everybody. You may have guessed it, the branding. Addiesdive is fine for a dive watch, and Deep Sea Hunter may be good enough for a model name for a dive watch, but either of these two names just isn't right for any other type of watch. Just about every other reviewer mentions these things, but Addiesdive choose to ignore them. Honest guys, it's costing you sales. That said, other than us sad watch nerds, how many people really stare at the dial? At best, they'll take a casual look and say, "Oh, that's nice," then carry on drinking their coffee. This watch's strength is its value for money, so if you like it, try it and look beyond the branding. Of course, for some people, that's easier said than done. So will I be keeping it? No, because I've already sold it to a friend, but I'll tell you what, he's got a great bargain. That just about brings me to the end of this review. So if you've enjoyed it, click on the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, leave your comments below, and enjoy the rest of your day.